Cory here from Penny's Hot Rods and Customs, coming to you live from Stony Mountain. Anyway, so what I've done on this turd lately, exhaust is all bolted in, done on both sides. Starter's in, I just got to wire it up, dipstick's in, and that's pretty much about it. What I'm going to tackle now in a few minutes is bolt the shifter in, do all that stuff, probably put my Z-bar in and all that stuff, get that done. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do today, but I'll show you what I bought, what we're going to do for this rig. It's experimental. Derek and Chris say it's a great product, so we're going to try it for my gas tank. I pulled it out, or the sender out anyway, and we're going to go dump some of this shit in it. And apparently you got to let it sit for a while, so apparently they swear by this stuff. So like I said, I took my sender out because also, well, I want to order a new one. So it does move freely, but it's crusty, so at least I got it for a sample, so I'm going to order a new one, hopefully this week. So yeah, we're going to dump some of this crap in. It's not cheap by any means, but they swear by it, so let's dump some in. See if I can set the old tripod thing up here. There we go. Hey, winning. So I don't know how much you can get, or how much you're going to put in here, but we'll probably put both jugs in here anyway. Look at that pour, eh? Not even a drop spilled. Oh, there we go. Spoke too soon. Apparently you can reuse this stuff too. I don't know if you just strain it and whatever, but all right. So I think best you're supposed to let this stuff sit for a while, so we'll let it sit like this for a bit, and then we'll turn the tank around and upside down and everything else, and we'll get her. So we'll be back, and I guess I don't know what I'll do yet. We'll figure it out. But yeah, it's already bubbling. I guess it bubbles up. Hopefully it's going to do what it's going to do. We'll find out in about 4 or 5 days.
If I knew we were doing this today, I would actually brush my hair. But Cory decided to buy a, because we couldn't find, we actually had a decent one around here, but bought off with Amazon.
Yeah. 22 bucks.
Yeah, well, here's our problem. I don't know how that picture's going to take with the sunlight, but you can see it's already, from the heat treating, it was already broken here. So it was already half broken before it started here. We went to install it, and you can guess what happened next. If you look down to the snout there, there's the other half in there. So I did try just with a pin punch to see if I could get it to turn. It didn't. I'm hoping with the brake there, it's just got stressed and came out. I'm going to make a drill guide bushing, well, not a true one, just out of 4140, just to see with a left-hand drill if it'll pop out. I'm hoping it'll work.
And for the record, I did not put any amount of pressure on this thing.
Like I said, there's a decent one around here. We don't know where it was.
Yeah, actually, I found it afterwards.
Well, there you go. But I mean, I could tell you stories about heat treating and drawing back and everything else, but you can just see what's happened there. And I said it's chinkless steel, so who knows what you get. Just garbage. But we're going to go make a guide. All I'm going to make is just a 2-part bushing. One of the Woodruff keys is still in here, so I'll put the bushing against that, and then I'll make just a sleeve that goes over there, and I think I'll start with like 11-30 seconds. If we do have to drill the dang thing all the way out, which I'm hoping we don't have to, but that way we can just step it up, because it's going to be a one-time use deal. So
at least it's not too bad for weather right now.
No, and no bugs, and the weather's not bad. The only thing is I think I'm going to put just some tape all around here, just so no chips can get in there. We'll just, you know, the piece basically goes right into the seal there I'm going to make, but still I'm just, you know, take a little bit of give a shit, I guess. So.
Remember, people, get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. Let's see, does it even have a part? Oh, you know it's great when there's no part number on it. Just junk today. I can tell you a lot of boring stories about heat treating. I learned from a lot of good old guys how to actually properly heat treat drawback, double and triple drawbacks. But
yeah,
I guarantee you that wasn't.
You can just see
Yeah, but you can just see it's already half broke.
Yeah.
Just garbage. That's the way we're going. People don't want to spend money for machining. They just want cheap, cheap, cheap.
Yeah.
Well, so the old adage, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
We'll go ream that out and then we'll see how this goes. Okay, so this is all I made up there. This goes onto your snout. Like I said, sooner or later it'll stop and hit the woodruff key. This guy's just nice ring fit there, so it goes good. And then that way, then like I said, I think I'll start with 11/32. And then if I got to go up, I can just modify this because I don't really care. If we're doing lots of these, I put a drill guide bushing in it, but I mean, I don't anticipate doing lots of these in my life. And I said my chuck's usually within about 1,000, so if it runs out of 1,000 at this point, we don't really care. Put some cut around there. Yeah, I know I should clean my lathe up. I know I'm going to have some comments that it's awfully messy. And I know it is. Laziness, though. Okay, we'll run a 11/32 drill here. 11/32. So that should go nice there. If I clean the chips out, that should be nice. We'll take that out and we'll go see what happens here. You got Cory's drill out there?
No, you probably got me in your Jimmy.
Oh yeah, when I was doing that job. Yeah. Tools are still in there.
See, I remember.
It's actually in the blazer.
Whatever.
Okay, so if anyone's wondering how I'm doing this, I made this, it's like just a couple thou loose. So it just fits out nice. And then this guy will go in here. And then my drill's gonna go in there. And what I'll do is I made this about 25 thou smaller than the snout of the harmonic balancer, so it's really not touching the seal at all because I really don't want to touch the seal with it. And that way I'll just tape up good.
Is there ducks around here?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the sauce.
You can go to Danny Whole Hogs.
No.
Local people would understand that one.
No, it sounds like chia.
Oh. Yeah, this is not a good taping job, but whatever. Keeps the chips out. That's the main thing.
And then we'll just spray with brake clean afterwards.
Yeah. So I should put some penetrating oil or some cutting oil here, but I'm just going to take a quick gander here to see what happens.
Something did something.
Well, it's starting to drill a hole in the center.
Yeah.
I was hoping she would have popped out and grabbed it. We'll see. We'll go a little bit further. Oh. Just have to be careful when we take this all apart that no chips get into the... Damn it. Hope it would come up though. Well, we'll keep drilling. And we'll keep you alerted. Is this 7/16 or half inch?
What's
that?
that?
Looks like 7/16.
Yeah.
Hopefully it hasn't screwed the threads up too much if we got to go up to half inch. What we do, I guess.
Couldn't you try like an easy out? Or?
That's what I'm going to try. We'll get a hole in it first.
Yeah. And
But
then
just,
try.
you know, if it's totally garbage, the
Yeah.
threads. You know it's lovely? I'm going to try another drill, but it's having a hell of a time drilling it too. I don't think this thing was hardened all the way throughout. I was hoping it would back out. It's already drilling my drill. Well, I'll try a regular drill here. If not, maybe we can go to carbides here. Ah, crap. Oh well. Because the damn thing moved. It went in. Because I just went and grabbed a right-hand drill. And the bloody thing went in, but it's not grabbing. Because I think what I'm going to try to do is just get a hole into even a 1/4 inch hole. And I think we should be able to get an easy out. Because I looked for my punch marks where I should have put a dot of bluing or dot of anything. But I can see the line moved. So hopefully that's a good sign. So I'm going to try to just see, but I think this damn thing's so hard I can't drill it. Like I said, it's just dull my drill. But I can get a carbide drill in here maybe. I was just hoping the left hand would. I'll try the right hand again just to see if it'll can move forward.
Do you have any more?
I got carbide drills. I got dicing drills. Well, that one's drilling it now.
Yeah, I see it's the chips. Oh, heard something.
Well, went a little off center, but so I'll try this. So we can assume it's symmetrical, right? So we'll have the same amount of thread on each end, right?
Yeah.
So we got about an inch to go. Okay. I'm assuming on a Chevy crank that there's some distance past the snout. I guess if I drill into the snout of it, it doesn't matter, does it?
No, I don't think it matters.
You should hit that. I look fairly level.
Yeah, you look pretty good. Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh, fuck, is it weird though? Oh, sorry. But you won't. The camera won't pick it up. But you see high and low spots, like for the where the heat treatment is on it, because it's just kicking the crap out of my drill. Well, I'll see if I can get this hole in there, then we get an easy out in here, hopefully.
You got easy out here?
Yeah, I got easy out here. I know people want to watch me drill. It's quite boring.
Yeah.
So this thing is, the expression at work is harder than the back of God's head. Now, this is a dicing drill. They'll drill up to 68 Rockwell, and if you know your hardness is steel, that gets to be very hard. It'll actually drill up into the 70s usually. So we use this to get a hole into it. This thing somehow cutting it, and I literally took the wrench. The left-hand drill wouldn't even bite to do it, but it's turning out. So thank Jesus, or whatever God you pray to, that this came out, because this would have been a nightmare, because it's so bloody hard. A tap won't cut it, nothing will cut it.
That is what winning looks like, folks.
But good Lord. Like I said, I could tell you stories about these things. Years ago, we just moved to the new shop there, and a guy was redoing a fancy Mopar, like a 383, 440, I don't know what it was. Broke the bolt off in there. Didn't want to tell the customer, I don't know the whole story behind it. He wanted us to drill and tap this out with bringing the engine to work, but he wouldn't take it apart. So he made some fixture up, so hold it on the boring wheel, and we drilled it out, and the guy had to be there when we did it. But anyways, it's, you know.
Man, is it night at the Roxbury here?
Yeah, I know. It's only 11 o'clock in the morning, and they're already jamming.
Best neighbors ever.
Part of me wants to put this on the hardness tester and actually see how hard this thing is, but anyways. So anyways, we got it out. So we do have another one right there. There's one we normally use, but we did find.
Yeah, I actually happened to find it afterwards in the garage looking for a wrench.
So yeah, anyways, but yeah, so that was luckily. A trick I've always done for this stuff a lot of times, if you can just drill off center just a little bit, that way you're just gonna relieve the pressure on the one side there. Usually works. But you can see how there's no damage to the thread, no nothing. Like I said, just
like I said, it threaded beautifully.
You could see it was already broken. Like that's from heat treatment there. It's already half broken.
All right, well, let's clean it up and let's install a balancer a little better.
Hopefully the next one doesn't break. But yeah, so anyways, that's what it takes. Sometimes you get lucky. Like I told Cory, what would you do if this was in a car that you couldn't do anything to? See, no chips in there. And the only thing is I should have wiped that off first. But I'm gonna go get one more clean brand new rag when Cory turned the camera off, just to get all this stuff out here. Cause I can bowl it out by hand. I should have cleaned it out first. So.
Alrighty.
I don't think
winning.
Yeah, that was a lucky one. Well, we should have maybe never done so much on our Chinese one, but we're just installing this, and it was, going good. I put my grease on it, wherever the grease is, somewhere around here. I always smear a little bit of grease on it just to help aid in the assistance, and it was going good. I'm using just an 1.25 wrench. All of a sudden, snap. It came out though, luckily. So I, looked at the bore on this and took a cursory look, and everything looked okay. When Cory bought this motor, the reason he took it off was because it was had a wobble to it, and I can see someone smashed it on with a hammer before. So I never bothered to make sizes or nothing. So I'm gonna assume that the balancer's got some issues because the crank's not looked in good shape. So we're gonna just get another balancer here and try that. But it was like there's been some shenanigans going on, and it's another rebuilt engine. Talk to Kenny down the street about his rebuilt 2.8 engine. Get him as a special guest appearance. But anyways, when people say rebuilt, I'm so leery these days. But yeah, we'll order a new balancer up, and we'll measure it up good. And I told Cory, if not, there's always a block of wood. Crankshafts don't like being smashed out like that.
No, they don't.
But yeah, no, we'll pull this one off and just figure what the hell.
Pull it off. You should be able to just pull it off with your hands.
Well, like I said, it didn't go very far. I'm gonna say it went on about 1/4 of an inch, give or take. Like you can see, it's still got a long way to go. Like I said, it wasn't putting much stress on it. So, but someone's gone out here. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick up. You can see hammer marks.
Probably won't, but yeah, somebody's beat on her.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe from the factory, a little too tight. But I think what I'll do is I'll make a balancer tool up because I've made a couple of these up. I use a 1-inch thread, and then we just use 4140 that way. We've never had one do this, but this one we used a fair amount over the years. But honestly, you could cut it off, and you could just even thread the get rid of this hex because we're only gonna use small block Chevy and just thread in a piece of.
More if that makes the most sense.
Yeah, that way you don't gotta make a new one. Yeah, you can still use the nut and everything, and the thrust bearing and everything else.
Okay, well that's done for that today. I guess I'm gonna go start continue bolting up my shifter and linkage and all that crud.
Yeah, see, they're starting to turn red now. Fuck, that hurt when that wrench slipped.
At least it didn't break off in the crank.
No, exactly. He's gonna have to do a part 2 today. I still haven't bothered to hardness test that other one, but I'm still curious what it is.
It's somewhere around here.
But the weird part is the chips didn't come off blue like with carbide when you drill really heavy. It's blue, but they came off silver. But like I said, high speed steel would barely touch them. So anyways.
Shifter time.
Yeah, it's about it, isn't it?
Man, my life came with an inch of my life. I almost died. Shift rod hit me in the forehead. Bleeding, dying. But anyway, shifter's all bolted back in. Everything's back to working where it's got to be. So I'm done underneath there. Shifter goes through the gears. I still have to make my other piece down underneath there. That'll be at a later date. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do next is, I was going to mount my power steering. There's no point doing that right now because if I got to work on the balancer and whatnot. What I'm going to do is probably dig out my rad and mount it to the cradle. That way make sure the hoses are the right sizes and all that stuff, because everything's, you think it works in theory, but you know, something always comes to bite you in the butt. So I'm going to do that, dig out the wheel wells, start cleaning and painting those things up, and I think there's a little bit of rust repair to do on one of the wheel wells, I believe. So that's what we're going to do next. But yeah, so that's done. Like I said, there's a few other things in here. I'm not going to do the plug wires yet because I might run different plugs or whatever, but like I said, throttle's done, and I got to find a return spring. Same thing with a lot of stuff in the front here. I'm not going to do with the fuel and all that stuff because I'm just going to wait. So that doesn't take very long. So we're getting there. So I think we're going to go dig out the rad and mount it to the cradle and all that stuff. So that way it's just, there's 2 bolts that hold it all together. It's not a big deal. Alright. See what rad is which. These are the same. Yep. Go with this one. Black. Not sure whether we're going to paint it black or leave it aluminum. I think we might leave it aluminum on this. I don't know. Chris will say paint it black, but we'll see. I just want to, like I said, make sure everything bolts up and everything else. So that way there's no surprises. Thinking maybe in the next video, maybe we might fire this thing up. You know, it's time. Summer's almost half over, so that should be coming up in a video, then fire it up and whatnot. So all right, I guess I should grab my rad. Drink. The hits just keep coming. Remember a minute ago I said, yeah, we'll grab this rad to make sure everything's, you know, gonna work. There's no problems, no hiccups, no nothing. Well, this rad's not even close to fitting. The holes, they are the same height. That's not a big deal, but as you can see, we're out to lunch. And there's the original rad that came in. So what I think we're gonna do is take some time and make some brackets to make this work and test fit it all and everything else. And just noticing too, that thermostat or the upper rad hose is on that side, which isn't that big of a deal because I've got it pointed that way, so that's not that big of a deal. But this everything takes time. You think it's supposed to fit for, well, it's supposed to fit for this car, and oh well. I like to say the last laugh's on me, and it is. Alrighty, I'll go make some brackets up and figure what I can figure out. So, stay tuned. Okay guys, a couple hours later, had a couple visitors visit and stop by and whatnot, so that killed a part of my afternoon. So anyway, I'll show you what concoction backyard hickory thing I've made here. So I made these couple brackets just out of some old U-channel or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to make it a lot nicer. It's just, this is just all mock-up. So I will put rubber underneath here. I'll trim that a little bit so that way it's not rating against the core. And like I said, this guy's just loose. It is, everything's just loosely bolted. So everything will be fine. So what else would have come up is my original fan shroud. Oops, it goes up. There's something like in there. So what I'll end up doing is I'll drill a hole here, and that way it'll all get bolted together. I'll put the rubber underneath the plate and this and that, and it'll all get bolted, and this gets bolted underneath. So and then we'll try mocking it up and we'll put it in there. So the next time you see this thing, the rad will be painted black. It's ugly looking silver. Actually, we'll just put it bolted all together and we'll put it in just to see what it looks like. But like I said, you buy something that's supposed to fit and it doesn't. So Amazon stage number 2, my stupid broken balancer tool. This thing that was supposed to fit for 61 to 64 does not fit. So a little bit of modifications. The main thing is I just hope I have enough clearance for everything. So hopefully I kind of made marks of where the old rad roughly would have went. So and you wonder why this stuff just takes longer than it needs to be. So, oh well, guess what happens when you buy a rad from a country you probably can't even pronounce. So oh well, we won't go there. So the next time you see this, it'll be mounted in there temporarily till I get some more parts. But yeah, we're getting there. Okay, rad cradle's all in. Lots of movement for the fan. Everything clears. Had to notch that out a little bit. Everything will get painted black later on. I just didn't want to paint it black yet. I got rubber mounts and everything, so it will all have to come apart again, but at least it's there. Should be a lot of hood clearance for the rad cap, but I really wanted a shroud to keep it cool. So yeah, exciting times. There's Yoda over there. So yeah, so I think that's where I'm going to call this video. Actually, you know what, maybe I'm going to start, you know what, yeah, I got an idea. I know what I'm going to do now for another hour. Dig out my wheel wells. Yeah, they got to be cleaned up. Yeah. High-tech security. Oh, it is high-tech when the second rock hits it. All right. They're up there, so I'm going to dig them out, and I'm not going to film any of it, but I'm going to dig them out and start cleaning up and wire wheel and painting them. I think that's what I'm going to do next. So that way when you guys see them next, they'll be painted black. So yeah. So I think that's where I'm going to leave this video, guys. I've had enough monkeying around for one day or for one weekend. When you think something's going to fit, you're sadly mistaken. Stinking Amazon. And it's supposed to fit, but oh well. I'm just happy everything worked out in the long run. So like I said, my rad hose, I'll make it, that'll still work for there, and then that'll be that, so that's not an issue. So anyway, guys, as always, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, good or bad. Later. Adios. I'm gonna go have an ice cream sandwich. You want an ice cream sandwich? You want an ice cream sandwich? All right.